Here's a rephrased version of the article. Former Congressman Adam Kinzinger responds to Trump's preemptive pardon announcement. Adam Kinzinger, a former Republican congressman and member of the January 6 Select Committee, was one of the individuals who received a preemptive pardon from former President Donald Trump. However, Kinzinger clarified that he did not request a pardon, as it was offered ahead of time, likely in anticipation of potential legal action from Trump's Justice Department against members of the January 6 committee. When asked about Trump's post declaring the pardon void, Kinzinger expressed his views. "Honestly, I think this is just a distraction," Kinzinger remarked. He speculated that Trump may be attempting to shift attention away from more pressing issues, particularly because the former president continues to fixate on the January 6 events. Kinzinger added, "Bring it on. If you want to challenge us, let's go to court, and we'll defeat you." Kinzinger further explained his stance on moving forward. "America made a decision, and we need to focus on that. The one person still obsessed with January 6 is Donald Trump. He can't handle the fact that the public has already decided his guilt in the court of public opinion." In response to Trump's declaration that the pardon is invalid, Kinzinger was defiant, stating, "Stop pretending to be tough. If you really want to take action, then bring charges. We'll crush you in court." On the topic of Trump's controversial actions, including his recent move to end Secret Service protection for President Biden's children, Kinzinger criticized the decision as childish and dangerous. He warned that such actions could lead to harm and that the public backlash would ultimately fall on Trump. "It sets a dangerous precedent," Kinzinger said, "and it's just an example of the immaturity of a president who behaves like a toddler." Trump's comments on pardons and President Biden's mental state. During a recent interview on Air Force One, Trump expressed doubts about the validity of certain pardons issued by President Biden. Trump suggested that Biden's mental acuity may be questionable, especially given some of his actions in the final months of his presidency. "Was he all there?" Trump questioned, referring to Biden's capacity during his time in office. David Urban, a Republican strategist, agreed with Trump's comments, citing the debate in which Biden appeared less mentally sharp. He argued that questions about Biden's mental state could influence perceptions of his leadership and the legitimacy of his pardons. Debate over the power of pardons and President Biden's leadership. The discussion turned to the legality and authority behind pardons. Urban questioned whether Biden had been fully cognizant when making these decisions, while former New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio countered that the power to pardon was a constitutionally protected right. "We can't just undo pardons. It creates instability and chaos," de Blasio argued. He further emphasized the extreme nature of targeting the January 6 committee, noting that a majority of Americans view the events of January 6 as a serious attack on democracy. De Blasio also noted that, despite criticisms, President Biden's pardons were legally valid and made with full awareness. He pointed out that Trump's claim about Biden's mental state appeared to be more of a political distraction. Project 2025 and its role in Trump's second term. The discussion then shifted to Project 2025, an initiative Trump's team has pushed for during his campaign. While Trump distanced himself from the project, former campaign officials stated that it aligns with his vision for a second term. Critics, however, argue that Trump's implementation of the project marks a move toward extremism, and they believe the public will not support such measures. De Blasio took issue with Trump's denial of his involvement in Project 2025, stating, "He's lying about it, and that's going to catch up with him." Urban, on the other hand, defended the project, pointing out that it represents conservative values like smaller government. Looking ahead, the public's response to Trump's path. The conversation concluded with a debate over how Americans view the direction of the country. Recent polls indicate that 44% of Americans feel the country is heading in the right direction, the highest number since 2004. However, de Blasio argued that Americans are starting to lose faith in Trump's approach, particularly due to his extreme actions and divisive rhetoric. Urban disagreed, pointing to the 44% approval rating and arguing that it reflected a broader shift in favor of Trump's vision. "The Democratic Party is the one that's crumbling," Urban stated, pointing to the challenges facing Biden's administration. The discussion ended with the acknowledgement that the future of American politics remains uncertain, and both sides will continue to debate the direction of the country. This version maintains the core information but rephrases it to flow more naturally and focuses on summarizing key points without directly copying phrasing from the original text.